want to know why they call high blood pressure, heart disease, the silent killer? Well, it's because it's by the time you're actually having symptoms, by the time you realize it, it's usually too late. I know this all too personally. I was in the pandemic in 2020. I suffered a brain aneurysm by the time I found out it was actually triggered by high blood pressure that I didn't know I had. More than 50% of Black women ages 20 and older have high blood pressure and don't know it. And we've decided more than ever, we can't have that. We can't have statistics like that, right? According to the American Heart Association, remember what I just said, more than 50% of Black women ages 20 and over, I didn't say 40 and 50, ages 20 and over have high blood pressure and don't know it. So we can't have that. That is unacceptable. Knowledge is power. This is why we share the information so that we can help each other take control of our heart health as well as our overall health. So joining me today is Stephy Fisher, who's going to share her radical transformation story. You want to stick around. In fact, stop for a moment, invite your friends, invite others, share this with others, because this is vital information. I get hit up by so many women who actually are scared because they just realized it, that their BP is high, that they're having heart issues, and they had no warning signs, right? So how do we deal with it? We have to be proactive, we have to be preemptive, and we have to be the ones who take control of our pressure. So I'm going to go ahead and have Stephy join us. But first, I want to welcome you to Detox Living, where we bring you tips, truths, and testimonials like Stephanie's to power your toxic-free living. I am your host, Coach Gessie Thompson. I am a fibroid survivor turned health activist and founder of thedetoxnow.com, a holistic health platform that provides education and supplements that help combat the health and nutrition disparities that lead to obesity, chronic disease, reproductive health issues, and lower life expectancy rates. Hey, girl.
Hey.
Ooh, I want y'all to know that this is Stephanie's first live.
Yes.
So I feel very, 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 very privileged to be the first one to host this amazing queen.
You've pulled me out of my shell in so many different ways, and this is one of them.
Yay!
So now I know what to do.
So many of y'all, many of y'all have heard some of Stephanie's story, which we shared on our interview on Way Up with Angela Yee recently. And, there was so much, it so inspired so many people that I really wanted us to get an opportunity to dig further into your story and also see what questions some people might have, right? Mm-hmm. So first of all, my first question is always, who is Stephy Fisher and how did she get here?
Who is Stephy Fisher? Well, I am a music industry professional and music educator. I sing, I travel with various artists. I also do a lot of session singing, songwriting, arranging, and I teach privately voice and piano. I have some amazing students, your daughter being one of them.
Yes, and I have to say, little praise break. She is so well trained. Let me tell you, I went to her show today. I went to her matinee show, and of The Lion King. If y'all don't know, and if you follow me, you should know. But she killed it. It was awesome. As I listened to her vocals, I was like, oh, Stephy will be so proud.
My baby. Yeah, always proud. So that's me. And, I just, in general, I'm a person that loves to share, yes, whatever it is. Teaching and sharing that way is, part of my ministry. And now what I'm doing with you is just an extension of all of that. Once I have information that I think is vital or important, the first thing I want to do is share it with my friends and family. Like, that's immediate for me. And most of my friends are that way. We're constantly back and forth. Try this, do this, so
Community.
so,
Community.
that's it. Yeah, it's community. And, and it's been something that has even helped me, just to get through this and, to want to do better. We're constantly encouraging each other. So that's who I am too,
So for many women, so first of all the props, and she really, I love the way she skims over. She doesn't tell you who she's sung. She has arranged vocals for Samara Joy. She has arranged vocals for TV award shows. She has sung with Shoshana Bean. Like, she's traveled the world with Tweet, and she still travels the world with Tweet and Kathy Sledge. Like, this woman, okay. She's being real. Shanae, look, Shanae, she knows. She up in here. She's up in these. Excellence personified. And she's being humble, right? Isn't she being humble? Yes. So she is all the things. She said, Stephanie is all the things. She said it. It's true. Yes, she is.
I love you.
And I love the way that you love, and, for many women, especially Black women, operating out of struggle or survival is the norm. It is literally the way that we operate. It's the normal, to the point that we don't recognize when our bodies are suffering. We assume that we are supposed to be in pain or sick, but we miss the warnings. So what are the warning signs? Some of the warning signs that your body was telling you before you got on this journey? What were some of the warning signs?
Okay, so constant pain that I thought was just pain. Because I had put on weight, I assumed that a lot of the pain was just joint pain because I was heavier than I needed to be. Because one of my doctors beforehand, years ago when I started to put on the weight, told me, well, the reason you're feeling pressure in your knees and your ankles is because you put on more weight than your body is designed to carry. And so I just figured, as the years went by, because I hadn't really done much about that the pain that I was feeling was just due to the weight, and I just need to lose weight, and that'll be the case. But again, just lifestyle and just kind of moving through life and not making those changes, you kind of start to accept it onto yourself,
Yes.
So that was definitely the warning sign. And the swelling, the insomnia, all of those things were warning signs that I didn't necessarily realize were warning signs to such serious things. So, yeah.
What was because I love to quantify things for people, right? So on a scale of 1 to 5 being the highest level of pain, what were you walking around in on a daily basis?
Oh, I would say probably a 4.
High.
Yeah, I'd say probably a 4.
Wow.
Especially when I would first wake up in the morning, because I would be so stiff and
pushing yourself along. Wow. Yep. And was there times where it got just unbearable?
It would only become unbearable for me when I had to, like, in travel, right? Because I was
which you did a lot because of the work you do.
Yes, because I do a lot, right? So I would become so winded, and that was another warning sign. I would become winded, and my legs would hurt, and things like that, especially having to walk long distances. And because I went through a series of a whole lot of international travel, so those airports are huge, right? Our airports are huge, but those airports are huge, right? And I literally remember signing up for a wheelchair one time.
Wow.
Because I'm like, when I have to push my way or rush my way, like, I'm so winded that it would almost take me to a panic attack. Wow. Like, I would have to, take things off and just, get my breath, because it would literally send me into a panic attack to not be able to catch my breath. So, yeah, so that was that was extreme. I'm like, okay, look, you calling wheelchairs, this is too much, So
So
yeah,
what was there a specific day that for you was like, you know what? I'm scared for real now.
that was the cardiologist visit. So I had gone to my primary care doctor to get some blood work done, and just to get a physical, and all of those kinds of things, just routine things. And
So what
we talked.
it wasn't prompted by you getting winded or anything. It was just a regular exam.
Yeah, well, that exam too was prompted by it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like the first, my first primary, I wanted to go because I'm like, I know my numbers have to be crazy
Okay.
because, of what's going on in my body. So, I was able to talk to her
Okay.
about the swelling and the
Okay.
different things like that. And, we talked about the hypertension in my family and
Okay.
things like that. And so she says, okay, well, I want you to see a cardiologist just because of the fact that all these things have,
Factors.
that you have that in your
Right.
family and
Mm-hmm.
the things that you're experiencing,
Right.
because I was just tired of being tired and lethargic. And to do what I do, you have to have energy.
Girl.
You have to. And then,
What? Yeah.
it was, and it was starting to, affect my singing as well, breathing, and, all of that. And so, it was just like enough, enough is enough. This
What
is
happened
what
at the
brings me.
cardiologist?
So, the cardiologist, another series of blood tests. They do the stress test on you. You get on the treadmill. You do all of those things. So I went through that with him, and what he told me was that I had so much inflammation in my blood, and that was the real reason for the pain that I was feeling. So there was so much inflammation, and he said, and that puts you at high risk for blood clots. And blood clots are very scary to me because I've heard of cases of people just dropping dead from, and they don't know,
Yeah.
that they have them. And,
Right.
and so that was really scary. So that, and then him saying, that my heart was slightly enlarged.
Wow.
And so from that, he's like, I immediately want to put you on blood pressure medication.
What were your
Because
numbers like at that time? Because we talk about blood pressure, we don't talk about numbers.
I'm
What
trying
were
to
your numbers? Because a baseline is like 120/80 is really baseline regular, right?
No,
So
I
what
would
were your
be
numbers
sometimes
like?
like the 150, you know what I'm saying? Like I would, it was, I can't remember the specific number that I was at, but I know that it was way too
You
high
were
for his comfort.
tracking and not just you were tracking in high.
Yes, I was past the
You were past
pre-hypertensive
the pre.
stage. Like I was there. I was in,
Mm-hmm.
and so he immediately, like I said, he wanted to put me on blood pressure medication, which for me, it's just I didn't want to take a pill every day because I'm like, then
Right.
people get on this, they can never get off.
Right.
And that's when I reached out to you.
Yeah.
Because I know that this was something that your program dealt with, and you would always talk to me about it. I was the one who was dragging my
It's like,
feet.
when you're ready,
Yes,
Stephanie, I'm here
you
for
would say
you.
no pressure, no pressure, and
I
and it was
want
like
y'all to
when
know, because we didn't have
yes.
any sessions. Somebody give me hearts. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts, because I have restraint. I'm like, girl, if you don't do
Yes.
none of that.
No, you did. You were very smooth with it. You never, made me feel like, oh, here comes Gessie, pressure me with this detox. It was never, it was like never.
Here she comes selling that daggone detox.
Here we go again, supplements. It was never, no, it was never anything like
I
that.
wasn't coming with the jacket. The jacket in good times. I got your supplements. I
Yeah.
got your supplements.
Yes. And I remember I called you and you told me, okay, screenshot your prescriptions, because it was the blood pressure medication, but it was also a heavy dosage of vitamin D that I had to do for like 7 days.
Severe vitamin D.
And so I sent you the medication and everything so that you could see it, so that I know you and Dr. Moon was discussing what
About
was
the
going to
best
be
plan.
the best plan for
Right.
me, even in doing the water fast, which initially,
I
I know
remember I said,
Dr.
so
Moon.
listen, I remember I was walking, I was in the street. I said, hold on, okay, all right, we got to have this conversation. I said, okay, you're talking to me about inflammation in your blood. You're talking to me about your pressure being elevated. I said, I really think we need to be aggressive about this. And those are the words I said, are you willing to be aggressive, Stephanie? I remember this phone call like it was yesterday. I was crossing the street in Manhattan. I remember. I don't know why I was in Manhattan,
Yeah.
but I remember.
Yep.
And you said, yeah, I'll do what I have to do. You had that little, I don't want to do it.
Because I was scared, but yeah. But I was scared, I
Yeah.
was more afraid of something happening to me
Yeah.
than I was in how I might feel for not eating for
Yeah.
14
And
days. You know what I mean?
the thing. You
Because
were like, well, whatever. You were like,
Mhm.
whatever I need to do.
And I didn't believe in myself because I was never successful at fasting. Like I always tell people, like, trying to do the Daniel fast in church, I couldn't even get through that. And you could
Can
eat.
we talk
You know what
about
I mean?
that for a minute? Okay, because I have a confession too. All right.
Yeah.
The first time, Dr. Moon, he created this water fast in 2015, right? End of 2015. And he launched it. We did it with Waka Flocka and his wife and several other people. And we launched it in 2006. It was January. And I was in that place in my life where I had all these surgeries, a hysterectomy. I knew I'd had so many, like 20 plus days in the hospital for every recovery. I was like, there's so much toxicity in my body. I know I need to heal, right? But I had never been successful. You talk about Daniel fast. I had never been successful on, that fast where you just drink water in the day and then at 6 o'clock you break your fast with regular food. I hadn't been successful doing that. Not even one day. Okay. I was like, I'm just not. And then I would go to what? I'm just gonna fast from candy. I'll eat whatever the heck I want, but I'm just gonna fast from candy. Listen, I'm not knocking you. I'm not mocking you. I'm letting you know wherever you are, people. I'm letting you know that they're baby steps. There's crawling. I get it. I'm letting you know I get it. Okay. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna fast from that because I was chocoholic. I ate M&Ms every day of my pregnancy.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's Gessie pre knowing what to do with food as her medicine. All right. So when you said that, I totally got it. Like, but I had come to a point where I was like, you know what? Listen, I can do it. And I would just take it. I didn't know nothing about no day 14. I was like, day one. I'm going to make it to day one. And I knew if I could make it, I said, that's why I was like, Stephanie, I'm telling you, you can do it. Because I know it was outside of my realm of possibility.
And now that's what I tell everybody. Look, if I can do it, me, I say me, then I know, that you can do it. Because I think I was more so afraid because when you haven't done it before, you're thinking about it with your present mind,
Right.
which has no experience with, you know what I mean? So for
Yes.
me, I'm just thinking about, man, like how much, like I don't want to be hungry. I don't want to
Right.
be miserable.
Starve.
I don't want to be, because can't conceive how you're just having water and not being miserable for 14 days. I was like, how am I gonna do this? Like, I gotta smell other people's food. Like, what in the world? So that was what was really, it was just like, am I gonna be able to do this? I didn't want to fail at it because I I just felt that urgency, and I do believe, it was the Spirit of the Lord saying, look, this is, leading me to this, and I needed to do it. And so I was just, really afraid of not being successful at it and then continuing to have all of these health issues.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
I pushed for it. You know what I mean? Like I really, really pushed for it and, just kept talking myself.
You reached in your faith bag. You reached in your faith bag.
Absolutely.
Because you were like, you know what? I know this. This is what's before me. Medication that's only going to be lifelong crutches. These other things, right? And then treating symptoms, not treating the actual condition, right? And being too young to be shackled with this. I mean, and having so much to do, such a vibrant and amazing, incredible person being hindered, right? In terms of being able to do what you want to do. Fasting, it is we've talked about detoxing versus fasting, and fasting is specifically a voluntary process. Your body naturally detoxes every day. Defecation, urination, perspiration, and respiration, right? 4 different ways: breathing, urinating, pooping, perspiring. Those are the 4 ways your body, it naturally detoxifies every day. But when we have, the toxic loads of our lifestyles, the stress, the lack of sleep, eating poor foods, the products that we use that are hormone disruptors and toxic, all of those things cause our detox functions, which I call it the piping in our house, right? The piping is what allows all the toxins, all the stuff to come in and the toxins to come out, right?
Right.
So I call it the piping. I said that's what allows the piping to get clogged up, and it gets clogged up, flooding. Lots of stuff gets damaged because stuff is not being able to be eliminated out of the house, right? So it's the same thing with our bodies. That's when we need to fast. That's when we need to come in, bring in the plumber, right? That's what the fast is.
Right.
And the fast is a voluntary process where we come in and we actually pause eating. We give our body, the digestive system, a rest. The 4 vital detox organs, which are our liver, our lungs, our kidney, and our skin, and then the lymphatic system and the digestive system. It allows all of those things to rest, repair, and become revitalized. All right, voluntarily, and you do that by abstaining from food, drinking certain things, taking certain supplements, those kind of things. So we say fast to reset your body's detox functions, right? So when you got to that, and the first few days, talk to us about the first few days. Like, what was that like for you? And what did you start to notice immediately?
Okay. So the first few days I was a bit, well, before I get to that, let me say that every time I've done this water fast, my experience has been different. Okay. And then I'll go into why I think it has been different. Right. But so the first time I did it, I experienced little headaches. They weren't like massive headaches or anything like that, but it's the withdrawal. It's the withdrawal from, going through, just the sugar. And for me, then I was a heavy coffee drinker. So,
oh, wow.
caffeine.
Yeah. See, and I didn't know that. I would have told you to stop drinking coffee for several days before. Like, remember when you said on Angela, you didn't do any prep. You didn't do any prep.
I did no prep. No, let me tell you something. When I tell you cold turkey, I just jumped in because that's how afraid I was. Fear will do that for you. So sometimes it actually works in your favor.
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes fight or flight is helpful. It saves your life.
In this case, it did. It was just like, okay, I have to do this because you said blood clots. No. You know what I mean? So here, done. No thought. No prayer. No nothing. I'm here. So I definitely felt like those kinds of things, like in the first, I want to say 3 days, it definitely started lighting up by day 3. Day 4, I was fine. Like I felt my health, my energy was up. Day 5 was the day that I did a 10-mile bike tour because I had started biking with a dear friend of mine because she and her husband, they do marathons, they do all of that. And I like riding bikes. So I said, okay, this is an outdoor activity that I know that I would do and actually enjoy. And I had started to do the biking with her. And so there was an event called New York Streets or Summer Street, City Street, something like that happens.
I'm remembering this differently. I thought you did 2 bike things with them. The first time, I think you did like 4 miles or 6 miles, something.
Well, that was just our regular trail.
That was around day 4, and then the next week I think you did the 10 miles.
The next week, you're right.
Okay, so the first time was so you were like
training. Yes,
because you were testing out. You were like, wait a minute.
Exactly, you're exactly right, because we were training on the regular bike trails, and typically for me, I would have to stop often. Like yes, I would have to stop often because I would get winded, and I would only be able to do maybe about 1 to 2 miles.
Yes.
So on that 5th day, when I did it with her, I was actually able to do 5 miles. And I was like, oh, this is not me. You know what I mean? And I wasn't, all beat up and winded.
Talk to me about what's going on in your head while this is happening. Because this is like real.
Yes, like why am I not tired? Or, why have I not asked for a break? And she was so patient with me because, she's like a professional, but you know what I'm saying, bike rider, like has the bikes, you know, all the things.
Right,
You know,
right,
I had one of those little, you know, picnic basket bikes. So, you know, she had to let me use her husband's bike because my bike was not designed. My
right,
bike was designed to ride around your
right,
street and back, you know,
right.
not bike trails. And so, yeah, you know, it was just strange to me to not feel like, I got to catch my breath. Okay, can we
You're
just
not in
stop for a
pain.
second? Yeah, because she would always ask me, she's like, are you okay? You know, because she usually be in front of me, like, you okay? You need to stop. You need to. And that wasn't happening, you know. So she had created, shout out to Christine, you know, she
Shout
had helped
out,
me,
Christine.
you know. Yes, you know, she definitely, you know, of course was very patient with me, but you know, understood what I was trying to do. And so even she was just kind of like, wow, you did 5 miles a day. So when she invited me to do the following week the city streets, which is something that takes place in New York City every Saturday for the month of August.
Okay.
So you can ride your bike through the city, you can skateboard, walk, jog, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Goes down those streets for you. And so me, I'm thinking like, oh, you want me to like be amongst people and, you know, like,
people who really
you
ride.
know, like people that really do this. Like, I'm like, I'm gonna feel crazy. But she was just like, no, she said, it's not like, you know, the big marathon. She said, these are go at your own pace, you know, you'll be fine. It's fun. It's vendors all along, you know, we can stop, take breaks, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I will try. I will try. And so we did that.
But you got to back up because you didn't skip the whole week now between this, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So in between this, I remember you saying, "Hey, my period is coming."
Yes.
Something else, and we were like, "We need you to get you on balance," right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember that because you were starting to have, you were concerned.
Right.
Like, listen, sometimes I usually deal with what you had never told me before. I don't usually, I deal with some cramping. Somebody I was like, okay, well, you need to be on balance. And now actually balance is part of the water fast.
Yes.
We just put hormonal support in the water fast now, period. So whether or not you always have it, go. Right? So what happened at that time?
So with the cycle, yeah. So what was very, very different about the cycle was me being able to get through it without taking any painkillers. Because I
like,
remember, yeah.
Wait,
And I remember when I knew it was
ready?
coming, talking to you, like saying, okay, now, I'm probably gonna need to take something, you know. And so you told me, well, just, you know, try to get through it with heating pads. You know, you can do like a ginger tea or something like that if if you feel anything. And I'm like, okay. So I remember feeling something, right? But it was nothing like what I had experienced before.
Right.
And it was nothing that made me feel like I gotta reach, like I'm not gonna make it if I don't take painkillers. And so I was so proud of myself for even being able to get through that time without having to take a medication. And all I did was occasionally a heating pad, you know, but even with that, I remember probably only having to use it maybe the first couple of days.
So awesome.
Like after that, I was fine.
And typically, would you use, what would you take typically? Like ibuprofen? Motrin?
Motrin me down, like 3 of them.
Wow.
Typically, yes. That's what I would do. Because it would make me really tired, you know, as well. But just, you know, the pain and discomfort, you know, that I would have for a few days was just, you know. So yeah, I was accustomed to taking something. So even because I was like, can I take medicine on the back? You know,
you know what?
Trying to get me, you know,
I didn't realize it was gonna be coming. I remember that.
Yeah, but
we got you the balance. You made it through the balance supplement, hormonal supplement, and that was awesome. So now at this point, I remember because you're in your second week. You are. How are you feeling? Like, because what were tell me about the things that you noticed that changed and when they started changing. So in the first week you were able to do bike riding. What else did you notice immediately as you were in the process?
So as I was changing in the process, especially in the second week, high energy. Like my energy was crazy. You know, like I was, you know,
on just water and supplements.
Yeah,
and
you know, and I wasn't getting tired. You know, drained out at the end of the day, and it was the whole pain thing that, you know, when I started to wake up and not feel the joint pain, That was the thing, and that was the thing that I told you, that I cried about when I experienced it, because I was so used to it just being a part of my life, till I was kind of numb to it. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm in pain, but I just be in pain. I would still, because I'm a person that I'm going to do what I have to do no matter what, when it comes to my task, and, whatever that is, I am true to my Capricorn nature in that regard. I'm about my business and getting it done, come hook or crook. So for me, I'm going to do it, feeling what I feel. And I think because I'm so task oriented, would be easy for me to kind of like shut it out, until maybe the end of the day, or when I first wake up. So to notice then that wasn't bothering me, or that running up the steps was not causing me to
running up steps.
Yes, to not have, to not get winded, or not, or like running for the train, because that used to happen to me too. Running to the train, and getting on the train, and now I'm having a panic attack. So just things like that. That was really the okay. This is something different. Not feeling the pain, my knees not crazy. All hurting and tight when I'm going up the stairs, and then yeah.
I want you to think there's a woman right now watching who is in that position, who thinks that she's been living like this, and she just thinks that this is supposed to be normal, right? What would you say to her?
Nothing is normal about being in pain. Not like that is not a lifestyle. Like that is not a lifestyle, so sis, brother, like whatever, like there, don't take that onto yourself as being something you have to accept, or and then also don't come down on yourself in a way that causes you to not do something about it, because sometimes, we can just be, kind of hard on ourselves. And I can do that, at times as well. And then you kind of give up on yourself, so, I would say, don't accept that you have to live any other way except healthy, because that's you just don't. you just don't. Sometimes it's scary what we may have to do in order for that to be our case, because it's foreign to us, and we grow up in different situations, that teach us different things, about what it means to take care of yourself and things like that. So for a lot of us, the information, the things that we're finding out is kind of new. For us at least, and different to how we've come up, because really it's medicine. Something's wrong, you take medicine. It's medicine, it's antibiotics, it's painkillers, it's cough syrup, it's this, it's that. And that's just, what you think to do. And you go to the doctor, you take whatever they prescribe you, and there it is. But you're not thinking about, okay, now outside of this, there are things that I can be doing to maybe not have to end up back in this place so often, or again, or, or there are things in my body that are maybe triggering these types of things, that are root causes that I'm not speaking to, and I'm constantly out here treating symptoms, so, and that's definitely what I was doing. So I would say, just don't accept that. Like, find out as much as you can, in terms of your, medical history. Getting these because blood tests tell you so much. Getting these blood tests and taking them to your nutritionist and things like that, to be able to talk to you, because sometimes it is something in your diet that may just not agree with your blood type, your life, all of those things. And it can vary from person to person. So, you're worth it. You're worth it.
You're worthy
to do.
You are worthy
to find that out, and take care of yourself, and because sometimes we will do more for others than we will for ourselves.
Ooh, now you're preaching. Now hold on. I always say, that I love that you said that, because many times the thing that seems so out of the realm of possibility for us to do for ourselves, we would do it in a heartbeat for somebody else. Like, what do I need to do to help my sister, to heal my sister right now? Oh my God, I just need to do a water fast. that will help her, I'll do it with her. Like there are things that we will, and that says a lot about what our actual belief system is.
Mm-hmm.
And the belief system is that that person is more valuable than I am.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's in the message, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I want us to grab a hold of is we are worthy. It's our birthright. Healthy, vibrant, abundant health is our birthright.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling amazing, waking up with joy in our joints and in our hearts.
Yes.
It is our birthright. It is the way God created us.
Mm-hmm.
And there are, 95% of disease. They say only about 5% or less is actually genetic, right? And that 95% of it is lifestyle born. So that means we have so much power in our hands.
Yeah.
Woo! That is an opportunity. That means we have so much power to turn things around.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's a big thing,
It is. Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
So I love, so we're at the point where, that was a big aha for you that, wait a minute, I can live out with no pain.
Yeah.
I can live with no pain.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was huge. I have so many DMs I get all the time. Oh my God, I never knew I could have a period with no pain.
No, exactly.
Oh my God, I never knew I could have no heavy bleeding. I never knew I could do that. Like I get these messages all the time, and I just every time Mark says to me, every time I hear the register ring or something when an order comes in, I stop and I pray. And I want y'all to know I pray for every single person. Okay. Because I say, God, whatever that person needs, I pray that we are here to support them and we're able to help them because health is your birthright. Okay. It is your birthright. And I want you to know that, if we're the support system for you, blessings. If someone else is the support system for you, blessings. Whatever it is, I just want you to connect to the right support system for you. Okay, that's what I want you to have. So we're at the second week now. You've got that gift, that gift that says I can be without pain. This is possible.
Yes.
Right.
And I also wasn't hungry let me say this. I was never hungry. I never experienced.
Say that again.
I was never hungry.
People don't believe you. I don't care how many times you say it again.
I was never hungry, ladies and gentlemen. You will not be hungry. What happens is you miss the things that you used to do, but it's not hunger. Like, you know what I'm saying? You miss the act of chewing, crunching, you know what I'm saying? Like those kinds of things.
Yeah.
You miss a lot of times. For me, it was fellowship because every time I would do something, we always go out, whether it's after church, whether it's after gig, you're going to go out to eat sometimes before and after, because it's part of what you do. So then it's kind of like, I know for me, I'm thinking, now that means I can't go out, let me limit how much I'm outside because I didn't feel. But then by the time I got into that second week and through it, I was still going to dinner with my friends, sitting there drinking my water while they were eating. And nothing was, and it wasn't, seeing the food wasn't bothering me. Smelling it wasn't bothering me because I didn't have those cravings. So, cravings only last in this thing for, like I said, just the first few days or so. And it's not even hunger cravings. It's just cravings for the things you used to feed your body, sugar, carbs.
Right.
And in my case, caffeine was really heavy the first time. Now, when I did, just kind of jumping ahead a little bit, in doing the fast a few times after that, I will say that I experienced that a lot less because I was not drinking coffee.
There you go.
Right.
Wasn't your lifestyle anymore.
Right. So then I wasn't experiencing that heavy withdrawal that I had the first time.
Wow. That's
because
great.
of that, I think, it was more so because of that. So yeah, I mean, you definitely, you do not feel
let's
hungry.
talk about a little bit about that. So I can attest to it personally as well, because first of all, I could, like I said, I couldn't fast because I didn't like being hungry. Okay. That was number one reason. I ain't like being hungry. I get headaches, I can't deal with it. But with the supplement regimen, okay, with the structured water, which keeps you hydrated, it's the water with the salt and the chloretyl supplement, all right, and lemon, if you add lemon, the structured water, the coconut water, the 3 different types of waters in the water fast. And again, we have fruit fast, we have intermittent fast, we have different ones, but we're just focusing on that because this is the experience we're talking about. And I can tell you, after day 2 for me, I wasn't hungry anymore. Like, especially when I took my supplements, I was like, whoop, like I had breakfast, lunch, and dinner when I had my supplements 3 times a day. I was like, whoop, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I felt like, I could go right ahead about my day. And that was very unusual for me because, like I said, I had low tolerance for feeling hungry. So I didn't feel hungry. So I said, wait a minute. Like, now I started to realize, and this is a very important thing, our bodies process, feel hunger and thirst the same way.
Yeah,
Okay?
same signal.
The body has the same signal for hunger and thirst. So many times we think we're hungry when our bodies are dehydrated. Okay? So the very first thing that taught me was, a lot of times we're like, I'm just hungry, I'm just gonna eat whatever because I just have to eat or I'm gonna pass out. That is a lie. You don't have to eat something that's going to toxify your arteries and cause inflammation because you're about to pass out. You probably just need to get some good water first.
Yes. Absolutely.
Thank you for the thumbs up, whoever just gave it to me. Yes, you probably just need water. Did you notice that?
Oh, for sure. No, yeah, for sure. And the thing is, I had heard that before from just like other nutrition, because I had done, some plans before that I will say did work out for me. It's just because I didn't have any real understanding of lifestyle after that, the results, just didn't last. But one of the things that that nutritionist told me was the same thing, like food and water. Your brain sends the same signal for being hungry and being,
thirsty.
and thirsty. And I definitely understood that in doing this because, again, I was never. I mean, y'all are gonna be drinking so much water. Like, there is no way to feel hungry. I promise you. Like,
and with
you're not, because sometimes it would even be hard for me to finish the water because I'm like.
And you shouldn't force yourself to drink the water, right? You shouldn't force yourself if your body's telling like I don't have to. But when you need it, you need to drink it because and it's not just having don't think, oh, I just need to go get a bottle of Poland Spring. Okay, let's stop there. Okay, because Poland Spring, first of all, is like real rancid water. But if you just get some distilled water or some good spring water or some reverse osmosis water, even the smart water is like kind of like distilled water. Like if I'm out and about and I can't get distilled, like I have a whole reverse osmosis system in my house. In fact, I need to get you information about that for under your sink at home. It saves you a lot of money in terms of buying distilled water. And I put a pinch of sea salt, or pink salt in that water. That is really critical because the salt helps with the electrolytes. Okay, so if you're drinking water that does, and please don't go get water where they add electrolytes specifically, unless it is a good packet, a good thing that's 0 sugar and all that other stuff. Don't just buy electrolyte water, high alkaline water, because a lot of that stuff will actually damage your stomach acid, which causes a whole other issue. Okay, so key thing, make sure your water, the most simple water I drink every day is distilled or reverse osmosis water with a pinch of salt. That's it. I put it in my thermos every day. That's it. I could add, a little bit of lemon if I want, or you can get these electrolyte packs that are called LMNT because they're literally 0 sugar.
They're the bomb.
And they're the bomb. They're very easy. Yeah. So I think the key thing is once you know the difference between, because that's the other thing you start to learn. I'm not hungry, so I don't have to eat this nasty thing that's in front of me. I can actually just drink water and get to food that actually will nourish my body and start to use my food as my medicine.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
Woo. Well, I mean, I mean, just the whole experience was life changing because it was totally, I guess, undermining or going against, anything, that I thought that I had to do or could do, or that what my body could do.
Right.
I was, because sometimes too, you can feel like you're so far gone. And I think that
Yes.
that was one of my things too. Like, I'm like, I've been doing this all these years. Like, I seriously doubt me doing one detox is going to, you know what I mean? Turn all of these things around or make me feel so different so quickly. And it absolutely did. And so then, and the manuals that you guys, that comes in the
kit
that comes along with the product, the kit,
Mm-hmm.
It gives a awesome list of foods so that what's inflammatory, what's
Mm-hmm.
non-inflammatory, so that you can start to plan.
Yes.
Because here's what I don't like. I don't want these things where, okay, today you eat this, tomorrow you eat this, da, 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 da. I want to be able to know how I can prepare
My life.
foods that I like,
Right.
or want to eat
Guidance.
in the
You
best
like to
way.
have guidance and structure.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, because sometimes the things that people may tell you to eat on Monday, you
I don't
hate.
like it.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
I don't want it. I hate Monday. This is terrible. Get me to Wednesday. That recipe's better. You know what I mean? So,
Right. Everybody's different, and this is important. Some people want a meal plan. I don't want to think about it. Blah, blah. Some people don't. Like I'm not. I don't want a meal plan. I want to know. Okay, what are the healthy ingredients that I can have in my body every day? But boom, this is what I structure. Make sure I do this. As long as I know what ingredients are good and what I need to use,
mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's good for me. That works for me. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
So tell me, so how have you shifted? And today you're actually on the water fast now, right?
yeah. I'm on day
Eh,
5.
look how amazing she looks, y'all. Does she look sluggish, tired? Does she look like she's starving? She's on day 5.
I'm on day 5. And let me tell you something. And I don't mind sharing this because we're human, and so you have to talk about the real, because
Yeah.
sometimes you do
Yeah.
relapse.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. This
Okay.
is life.
So,
Life be lifing. Okay.
and so even after all of that success
Mm-hmm.
and all of that, I ended up not the first time around. Like, I had gone through the fast like maybe 2 times and kind of kept it together.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time it got time for me to do it again.
What time?
And again,
What number is this right here?
this is 4.
Time?
I think it's 4.
Time.
Yeah, I want to say this is my
So,
first time.
so I go ahead. I want to hear what you're gonna say because I have some very important insight to share. Go ahead.
Okay. So, for me, a lot of times, life transition, emotional things, will cause me to, fall into this rut. So I went into a season of being in a rut. I was in a rut the very first time I went through all of that, but then, kind of went through something else. And when I do that, I can tend to just stop, but I stop on me. I don't stop on everybody else. I don't stop on the other,
Yep.
but I stop on me. I stop
Yep.
paying attention to me.
Yep.
So, I wasn't working out like that anymore. I wasn't keeping up with, what I was doing. And, it was just the crazy hours again. And the eating, for me, it wasn't even that I'm just sitting around eating up everything, because sometimes I wasn't eating. You know what I mean? So it was just, it was a lot of things that was going on. So I got myself back into a state now, not to where I was before, when I first started, but I definitely,
it was a different floor. It wasn't the same
yes,
floor from before.
but I definitely felt, okay, I'm starting to swell again. Okay, I'm starting to feel some pain again. Okay, so I started to feel that, and so that was another reason of how I really knew that what I had been doing works,
Right.
because the minute I stopped paying attention to those things,
Yeah.
I started getting some of those symptoms back, and so I'm like, oh no. So when it was time to do this fast, I was was excited to do it, because I'm like, okay, it's time to really correct, because a lot of things have happened. I've moved, so much is going on, and really great things, are going on too. And I'm like, okay, I need to be back to my
Mm-hmm.
best self again,
Yes.
because a lot is happening. My businesses are growing.
Yes.
God is doing some amazing things, and I need to be my best self to be able to really operate in them. So, doing this now, just even the 5 days, is like I'm feeling faster results than I
Yeah.
did the other
The
time. And
snapback.
yeah, yes. And I
Mm-hmm.
think definitely it's
Mm-hmm.
because of the fact that, it was a part of, it started to become a
Your
part of how I
lifestyle.
do things. And so, my body was ready for it, kind of like, okay, we're doing this again. Here we go.
Yep.
And so I'm in it and it feels good. And like I said, I'm feeling you know, coming back to what I was a lot faster than I did
Yeah.
the previous time. So I feel
No,
great.
so the key thing, and I want to challenge the use of the word of, what was the word you used? You said not fall back. What was the word you used? You said
I think I said
sometimes
fall
fall,
off or
something like that. So here's the word. Here's the issue is that because every time we have a victory, life is a it is a beautiful tapestry of mountains, tops, and valleys. Okay, let's
relapse.
be clear.
Thank you.
Okay, relapse was the word somebody put in there.
Rebecca,
Yes,
thank you, girl.
yes.
Yes.
I want to challenge that word because relapse means you went back to your old mindset.
Yeah.
Okay, but you had a new floor now, baby. You had a new floor. Your past ceiling is your new floor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I love is the fact that you right away you knew what to do. And the reason I said that lifes is because what happens is you had a lot of great things happening at the same time. You had a lot of transition. That happens to everyone because life is a season of mountaintops and valleys. You're always going to be doing this. You're going to be journeying from a mountaintop down into the valley, then up to the mountain. And what happens is that just what you said, it's harder and it's easier to focus on everything else but ourselves in those seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
didn't abandon all. You still navigated and still you did it and got to the mountain again. It was like, okay, now I'm ready to address and navigate. So I want to applaud you because now you had a new
Yeah.
paradigm, right? You had a new paradigm, which was you could have gone slippery slope backwards because where you started, you didn't have solutions, you didn't have tools. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But where you were, you already knew. Okay, I already know where I'm going. Because the thing I want us to understand is we need to have grace with ourselves. All
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It's like there are times when you know what? I walk in and there's I'm giving you an example. There's a laundry basket that needs to be folded, and you know what? It's just not going to happen today,
Mm-hmm.
right? Today I'm choosing between the laundry basket and having to get some sleep, or the laundry basket and spending some time with my daughter, or spending some time with my husband. So I say this because sometimes there's so much going on at the same time that really we're navigating is just a season,
Mm-hmm.
right? It can't become your life. It
Right.
may be a season. The distinction that we have to do is say, okay, I'm riding this wave, but this is not going to be my life,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm
Mm-hmm.
navigating this burst, this catalytic season, but at the same time, this major transition, at the same time, I'm also not allowing room for certain things,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm also making sure that because I spoke to you during that, I know you were like, yeah, but today I'm going to rest today because you still were building in rest. You still were building in rejuvenation, even in the madness, because you were
Mm-hmm.
in such demand. You were being pulled every which way but loose. I remember
Yes.
that, right?
Yes. Yes.
So I want to say kudos to you, and I want to say kudos to whoever is going through that to let you know grace, number one, with
Yep.
yourself. You didn't have a
Yep.
relapse, all
Mm-hmm.
right? You failing forward, right? You're
Yep.
failing forward because you're failing at new levels. You're
Mm-hmm.
failing in new
Mm-hmm.
ways, meaning your mistakes from now are not the same mistakes you used to make. Because that's why now you're like, you already said, okay, you planned it. You're like, oh yeah, I'm going to be doing it this. But not only that, because you had made it a part of your lifestyle, your body is able to respond quicker because you had a new floor.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Absolutely.
yes, girl.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right. So what would you tell a person? Okay. So at the end, so the next week is also where you did do this 10-mile bike ride. Because I just
Right.
want to make sure that was, I was like jaw dropping. Like
Yes,
it was
because I
like day
was,
10 or something.
yeah,
It was like day 10 or 11. You did a 10-mile bike ride. I was
I
like,
did.
with
It
her
was a
water.
city streets event. Yes, it was. It was a city streets event, and I could not believe, because I'm like, I went from being someone who would struggle to do 1 to 2 miles to being able to do 10, in a matter of a couple of weeks. And I remember just feeling so good about that. And then, even moving forward, as you know, in October, I did a
Yep.
30-mile bike ride
Child,
for
she
Bike
leveled
MS.
up again.
For Bike MS, yes, I did.
Yes, we did.
30
We
miles.
helped raise funds for the
Yes,
cure. That's
yes,
right. I love it.
absolutely.
I
And
love it.
next year, next October, I plan on doing the 50. So,
So what was it like for you as your aunt? Like, so, you know, as God has just been showing up in my health, I have days I'm just walking and I'm just like, God, I just thank you for this energy. Like, y'all know, Nia's on Broadway, and I have to let y'all know that means the family's on Broadway. Like,
uh-huh. Because
that
all of
means
y'all got it. Yep.
this whole house,
That's what
and
I tell
y'all
parents with show
that.
kids. Be ready for it, because it's going to be your job
You
too.
see what I'm saying? It's your
Mhm.
job. And, when before this, I had major health issues last year. Over the past year, I had major health issues. And it was because of all the complications from previous surgeries and genetic issues I have. So I was like, wow, just getting into the right rhythm for me and getting the right balances. And as I sat there, as I get in this place, I'm like, feeling this goodness. Like,
Mhm.
wow,
Mhm.
I'm able to be here for my baby. I'm able
Mhm.
to be here, do the thing.
And
What?
not drag yourself to it. Yeah,
Yes.
to have just to have joy. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Just to kind of wake up smiling and go about your day. I mean, as I shared, I recently moved, and
Yeah.
I am still trying to get settled, but there are things that I'm just finding pleasure in waking up and doing, and especially in this past week, just because I'm starting to, I'm feeling more like
Yes.
myself. So it's
Yes.
just like, you have the burst of energy to, because when you move, you need energy. You need
Yes.
to
Energy
unpack,
is the
to
currency of
organize.
life.
Yes, and I like to put furniture together. I joke with my friends and tell them I'm also a
Ah,
carpenter. So so, I love doing things like that. And so, just, having the energy to do that, aside from all the other things that are going on in my schedule, are
incredible.
really good. But I'm also, my sleep is back on point. So,
Hallelujah.
I'm being in bed. I'm like, these past couple days, I've been ready to take it down pretty
That's good.
early,
That's because your
and make sure.
body heals when you
Yes.
sleep. So
Yeah, you can sleep, and you can rest better, and then you pop up earlier as
yes.
well.
Yes.
Because you're having a much more successful sleep, through
Yes.
the night,
So you're sleeping better. You're actually getting that deep sleep. And then in that deep sleep, your body's actually repairing. It's
yes,
healing. It's getting all of
yes.
the the,
Mhm,
the, the, the regeneration going with where there was inflammation. It's helping to reverse that. And
mhm.
okay, so what would you tell a person in your shoes who's at the crossroads with their health struggling to make the change to detox living?
Well, just what I said earlier, you got to remember that, that you are worth it.
Right
You're
there.
worth it. Like, you don't have anything to lose. You have way more to lose not doing it for yourself than actually trying to, do something that can benefit you. You
Mm.
know, give it a shot.
Yeah.
Take a chance on yourself. Most often we can do and handle way more than we think. And
Yep.
like I said, this is coming from a person who absolutely did not believe that she could do this, and I did it cold turkey. And now I've been doing it consistently every six
Wow.
months and has been helpful, and I'm not on blood pressure medication anymore
Oh, that's so
because
I was just about to tell you. So your blood pressure. Let's definitely get into that. Your blood pressure actually on the fast. I remember
the First
that
time
was one of the things that was major, is that you were monitoring every day. Because one of the things we said to you, okay, you're on blood pressure medication. We want to make sure you're monitoring it every morning and night, every day. We want to make sure you're monitoring it so you know, and talking to your doctor so you know what to do as the numbers change, right? So talk to us.
Well, yeah, so I did. I mean, when I took my blood pressure and I noticed, that I was constantly, I was kind of like consistently under the what would be considered,
Normal.
pre-hypertensive, I'm like, okay, well, maybe I don't need to do this. Because mind you, I had just started taking the medication. Yes. And so I called, my cardiologist, and I was told, well, as long as it stays and it doesn't, spike, then you're okay to come off of it. And so I just made sure, that I wasn't spiking, and I have noticed that in situations where it may, because I definitely went through a little period where it started to spike again, but that's because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. And the minute I was doing what I was supposed to do,
but kudos that you were still monitoring it, because you have to keep monitoring it.
You do. You have to, and and I still monitor it now. Twice a day. You just have to do that. But because sometimes other things, as you shared with me, like other things will just cause it to spike. You know what I mean? If you have a headache, if you're stressed, if you're, you know what I'm saying, anything like that can cause it. It may not necessarily be that you're doing something, So that was the biggest thing for me, because to be able to come off of it as quickly as I got put onto it was the thing, because I just did not want to have to be that person that has to constantly take a pill every single day. I feel like it just doesn't solve anything. And for that person who's kind of like debating, like, just give it a shot. Like, it is so worth it. The changes that have happened in my body, and the fact that I know that I have this as a resource. And that's why I run and tell everybody. Like, so many of my friends.
Oh yeah, so you're an ambassador now. Let's talk about that.
I'm an ambassador.
She sure is. Forever calling, forever texting me about somebody else that it's time to change their health.
Yes. I'm like, you gotta help my friend. All the time. But I love, like, this is the part that I love too. And doing this also helps me with a certain level of accountability, because it's kind of like, girl, if you're going out here telling everybody that they need to do this and this is changing their life, you can't be out here looking crazy.
Yeah.
So, you have to be the poster board for the thing that you're talking about. So, even me, when I had that moment, I was just like, you gotta, because you have been inspiring people. You want to keep inspiring people. You want to, and you're going to be the first visual that they get of this thing. And then, so that was myself. And then that was my friends, who I love them. They're on here and they're telling you, they've done it. And I mean, they've seen amazing results, and they too have done it multiple times.
Wow.
And so,
you got a tribe. Stephanie's got her own tribe.
I have my own tribe. We have a little chat, the Water Fast crew of our own. We get in there and, we share things, and, we motivate each other. And it's just been a great. And then I have additional friends that have hopped onto the process this time, because, they've seen us. Yes, Shanae, she just lost another 21 pounds.
Girl, you
absolutely,
Shanae,
like,
she having you to talk on your story.
Yes,
your story is awesome
she
too, girl.
looks absolutely incredible. So it's, that's a big motivator for me too, to keep doing it. Yes, Patricia, her and her husband are next. I can't wait till y'all start.
That's fantastic.
So I love just being able to, be an influence and kind of show people, and helping others helps me, as well. It really does.
That's phenomenal. It was so funny. So yesterday I got a text from, a client went to her esthetician for a facial after she had finished the water fast. And the woman was floored by her skin. She was like, it's buoyant, it's vibrant. She said, what have you done? What is it? Tell me what it is you've done. And she was like, I did this water fast. She's like, oh, she said, I need to be on it right away, right? So she hits me, she connects me just like you do. She connects with me. And then she said she got her stuff. She was ready. And she had the supplements up on her counter because she was getting ready. But she had customers come in. It was a husband and wife. And they saw the supplements. Said, oh, you about to do the water fast? And she was like, what you know about that? And she was like, they had just done it. She was like, they were looking so good. They were like, oh, yes, girl, we do that all the time. Like, and didn't know. Like, I didn't know who they were going in there, but it was just so funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was just like, here, the key thing is that for us, it's equipping you with tools to maintain a lifestyle of healing, right?
Absolutely.
Because this helps to jumpstart you. It really is it jumpstarts you into such healing results that now you're like, whoa, okay, I can feel this amazing. I can look this amazing. What can I do now to, and that's why we have meal plan, we have food lists for however you really want to do it, you know, so that you have tools to build an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. That's the key thing, to build an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. Last thing I wanted to share, and again, it's American Heart Month, and I want to end here, is that, you know, we talked about you monitoring your blood pressure twice a day. I want everybody to understand Black women ages, I'm going to say it again, I said it at the top, ages 20 and over, more than 50% of us have high blood pressure and don't know it. Monitoring your blood pressure daily is not something for people who have heart disease. It is something for everybody to do. You don't do it because of course, when you get a diagnosis, you become more concerned. Don't wait until you get a diagnosis. You see that number, because if we're monitoring it every day and we're seeing the number getting a little, oh, wait a minute, what can I be doing now before it becomes high blood pressure? You see what I'm saying? Like, that is really important for us to internalize that as a lifestyle, that I'm monitoring it, because let's be clear, being Black is beautiful, but it comes with a lot of weight in this world. And that means that our stressors, the things that are the reason we are disproportionately impacted by all of these inflammatory diseases, is because of the stress, the cortisol levels that are involved in the trauma of racism that we deal with every day. Okay, that disproportionately affects us. Okay, the stress causes us to be disproportionately impacted by all of these conditions. So because of that, just because of that, we have to be more radical about our health. And that means that I'm not waiting until disease comes knocking on my door. Okay? That's why we're educating now, so that we can be like, oh, wait a minute. Warning sign. I'm having cramps. I'm having heavy bleeding. No, that's a warning sign. We're going to turn that around. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'm feeling a little inflammation. Inflammation, what does that look like? It looks like redness. It looks like pain. It looks like congestion. It looks like bloating. It looks like skin issues. These are all signs, warning signs that our body's giving us. And for us to pay attention and say, I'm going to take note, so that I can respond while it's a whisper before it becomes a scream.
Absolutely.
All right.
If I can add on to that really quickly.
Absolutely. You bring us home, girl.
There's something else that, you know, working with you, that, you know, you inspired out of me, that's kind of like branching off from this whole experience, because, you know, as much as we talked about the things that, you know, we ingest through eating, but you taught me about products.
I was going to get to that. Thank you. I'm so glad you brought it back up. I forgot about that.
So we're, you know, talking about also changing, you know,
products, that
skincare, makeup, hair products, you know, soaps, what you wash your clothes with, what you wash your dishes with. And, you know, please do, you know, as you're following Coach Gessie, follow me, because I'm going to be getting a lot of information about beauty products. Because even today, everything that I have on my face, I'm wearing all clean products, because I've switched.
Wait, please. I love it. I love it. Me too. I'm using a clean line too.
Yes.
So
Yes.
listen,
Yes, I have to. So there
listen.
are products out there, and there are products out there that are still full glam
That's right.
and healthy and safe for you to use. Because I know for me, because I am on stage a lot, and
Yep.
I'm in front of cameras. I can't I can't use the thin stuff on that day. I need
Yep.
I need my stuff to be a certain. So I've
I
done a
love it.
lot of research. So I am going to be sharing
I love
that
it.
kind of information for what I've done for my
I love
skin,
it.
for the makeup products and different things that I've
Yeah,
used, and
because
the things
beauty
that you
is it
recommended
is
that I've changed.
beauty is
Because my
big.
skin feels different. Because I deal with eczema in the winter, but like when I changed to, when you talk to me about the Shea Moisture soaps and the shea butter and
Yep.
the lotion by them, like I changed all of that stuff,
And it
and
makes all the
it's been
difference.
a complete difference in how my skin is even operating this winter. So I'm going to be very anxious to share a lot of
Yep.
those things with you and doing
Deodorants,
yes,
toothpaste.
tutorials, all of those
Even
things I'm going to
these
have.
lashes I have right here, they're non-toxic. The glue in the
Yes.
lashes, they're by Ashunta Beauty, which is a black-owned brand. I absolutely
I
love
saw
them.
that you posted that, so I'm going to give her a
I,
try
I
because I
love
was
them.
doing I started messing with the velour, which is a vegan lash line that
Yep.
I started using. But yes, all of it, y'all. I
All of
mean,
it. It makes
even
such a
down to
difference.
the lash glue. I'm telling you, like it's a
Yep.
whole thing. But I'm gonna help y'all out and make it easy because I know sometimes people don't like to research and you feel
Yeah.
overwhelmed. So I'm definitely going to be putting together lists
I
of my
love it.
faves, what have worked for me, and doing some
And
reels and showing
you
you
can
how I
see
do my hair.
she knocked out that glass. Like I didn't do no, this is my regular. I don't have the skills Stephanie has. Okay. Because Stephanie it'd be like flawless.
Well, I'm a
Okay.
makeup artist, so we can't,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So we can't, guys, I used to be a makeup artist. I worked for MAC. So, I have a different kind of understanding of how to apply,
Right.
and use certain products.
So she
So
knows if the
don't even
product's
do
really
that
good.
because
That's the point.
you look
Oh,
fabulous, Gessie. So don't even do
thank
that.
you.
But but being able to even incorporate what I've already learned about that, because I had put makeup artistry away, but since you started to bring me into this knowledge of other things, now I found out why, that won't exactly lay dormant, because it's still going to be something that I'm going to be
That's
able to
right.
use to help others
That's
with,
right.
these toxic products that we got out here. So
That's right.
y'all,
And let's be clear. So I just want to put a stat there. 78% of the products that are marketed to Black women, 78% are toxified with harmful ingredients that lead to cancer, reproductive damage, and hormone disruption. Hormone disruption includes things like fibroids, reproductive damage. We're talking about things like endometriosis and fertility issues. Okay, we're also talking about things like cancer. So understand that we can literally change. Also, part of the major lifestyle change is changing our products. Once you identify the products that are non-toxic and make them a part of your lifestyle, it is a huge lift off your toxic load. It is a huge lift of that burden. Okay. So let's do it. All right. Well, thank you, my dear. I love you.
I love
I'm
you
excited.
too.
I'm excited about, with this fast, how you end this fast, because you look amazing. Day 5, I don't know where you're going to be day 14.
I'll send pictures. I'll be posting y'all. I'm gonna tell
Yes,
y'all
but
how it's like.
radical. I think what's most radical about your transformation is that it isn't just the weight. I mean, the first time you lost 20
Yeah.
pounds, you got off high blood pressure medication,
Mhm.
you were pain free,
Mhm.
all those things, happy period, all those things.
Yep.
And yet you built a whole new lifestyle that now is empowering others.
Yep.
That's the win.
That's the win.
I love you.
I
All
love
right,
you
y'all.
too.
So listen, if you are dealing with any of these issues, we're here to help you, and we mean it. We really mean it. Please take the quiz at
Mhm.
thedetoxnow.com/quiz. All right. It's thedetoxnow.com/quiz. Take our free quiz. That's a great starting place. If you want more support, we also have free consultations weekly with a coach that will talk through your case with you and recommend what specifically may work for you, work with you to develop the right plan for you and your specific budget limitations, or what you feel comfortable with, what you don't feel comfortable with, to get you started on what is your birthright, abundant health. All right. So please, we're here for you. Don't let yourself be in pain. Don't let yourself struggle through. It's time for you to soar, and we're here. We love you. All right, babe. Bye. Follow
Bye.
both of us, and we'll be sharing this.
Yes, follow us,
Is
guys.
there a group for the Water Fest? Oh, and yes, that's the other thing. So if you are going to go through it with Stephanie, you just follow her and DM her, and she'll take you through. But there's also a support group that if you're doing with Stephanie as well, there's also a support group we have a free app called Detox Living.
Yes.
And in the Detox Living app, we have free in-app coaching where our coach will answer questions in the free support group called Reset. Okay. So we got all kinds of support. Y'all not alone.
Nope.
We got all kinds of support for you. Let's do it. Community is how we win this game.
Absolutely.
All right. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.